The following episode contains spoilers. If you don't want me to ruin the movie for you, pause this podcast and come back when you've seen it. From this point on, everyone is at their own risk. Sincerely yours, Management. Welcome everyone to Lights Camera Podcast, a program dedicated to all those cinema lovers. I'm Sofia Erler and I'm glad to be one more episode here with you. In this episode, we'll be talking about Christopher Nolan's most recent film, Tenet, a film that, as we all know, defies the laws of time and space. As always, I invite you to get comfy and grab some snacks. With no further ado, let's get down to this episode. In a twilight world of international espionage, an unnamed CIA operative known as the protagonist is recruited by a mysterious organization called Tenet to participate in a global assignment that unfolds beyond real time. The mission? Prevent Andrei Sator, a renegade Russian oligarch with precognition abilities, from starting World War III. The protagonist will soon master the art of time inversion as a way of countering the threat that is to come. The movie came out on September the 3rd, 2020, written and directed by Christopher Nolan, also known for Inception, the Dark Knight franchise, Interstellar, Dunkirk, and other movies. This movie stars John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Elizabeth Debicki, and others. This movie was nominated to 2 Oscars, 1 Golden Globe, and 1 BAFTA. In the middle of 2021, I think we already know who Christopher Nolan is. And if you don't know who Christopher Nolan is, then what are you doing listening to this podcast? What? But okay, Christopher Nolan, in my opinion, one of the best directors in the film industry. Why? Well, for many reasons, but the 2 most important are, number 1, his way of manipulating timelines in his stories. As we all know, Chris here is an expert in making non-linear films. Translation: his films do not go in a normal chronological order. He uses space and time to explain past events that give an answer to what is happening in the present. That's why Nolan movies have to be watched very carefully. One blink and you miss on how what the character did 10 days ago can help him save the world. Reason number 2, where Christopher Nolan is the best at what he does, his purest methods. As you may have noticed, Nolan makes a lot of movies that involve explosions, crashes, booms. And you know how he does it? By definitely not using special effects, or by using them to the bare minimum. Translation: Nolan wants to crash a few cars and have them explode. He grabs a couple of cars, he crashes them, and then sets them on fire. Because he's Christopher fucking Nolan. We do understand that, right? Many, if not most, of his films involve the least use of effects in post-production. So, as for him being a director, and for this movie, it's excellent, fabulous, magnificent. This man has earned my respect, and I know that he has earned your respect. As we made it clear in the beginning of the episode, Tenet is this movie about this CIA agent, no name, by the way, he doesn't have a name, who is going to try and stop this Russian, I think it was Russian, I don't remember very well, from starting Third World War. And he does all of this by using time reversal technology with the help of Robert Pattinson and Elizabeth Debicki. All good. The story's good, the cast selection is excellent, because you do have to admit that Robert Pattinson is a great actor. The movie is loved by critics, and of course, how could it not be? The film has all the elements of a good movie. Number 1, a well-crafted story for the big screen. The concept of a CIA agent going to save the world from whatever it's going to save it from is a story used many times. But Nolan gives it the sci-fi twist we didn't know we needed, and that gives it a very nice touch and twist to the story. Number 2, the soundtrack it deserves. I think watching all of Nolan's movies, we realize that the soundtrack of his movies are strong. In this movie, Ludwig Göransson was given the opportunity to be able to create the sound of the movie, and in my opinion, and that of many critics, he succeeded. And just like Nolan in the movies reversing scenes, this composer also reversed a lot of the music. Translation, yes, the music of the movie is backwards. Number 3, it has just enough dialogue and action. The problem with many movies with complicated plots is the fact that there is too much dialogue and not enough action, or vice versa. Many action movies are more explosions and people jumping off out of cars than dialogue. The Fast and Furious. Tenet has a very good balance of dialogue, story development with the action it needs. As I mentioned, the critics loved it, but that was not the case with the public. Many people complain that Tenet's story is the most overused thing in Hollywood, and some even go as far as to say that the use of the term Third World War is unnecessary. Others say that Nolan just likes to mess people up more by using his nonlinear chronologies, and that he just uses them to make himself look smarter as a director. And let's not start with the music. Most criticisms of the film revolve around the music being too loud, and then it doesn't let you watch the film in peace because all of the noise that surrounds the scene, and blah blah blah. Others even talk about how the movie is built to have a very lousy ending. You know, like a Game of Thrones ending. For me, Christopher Nolan is a genius of cinema. He has such a different way of making movies, and Tenet was a very well-made movie. Allow me to explain myself. The fact that he has been able to make a movie where many of the scenes are reversed, and not only with like one or two characters, but with like many characters, because there's like a big scene right at the end where they're fighting in a super big battlefield with like thousands of people, and that the scenes have been recorded without using too many effects in post-production is incredible. Nolan, in an interview, reveals that scenes with reversals were shot twice, one time with normal movements and the second time with movements reversed, which not only speaks to his directing style and his genius as a director, but it speaks a lot about the actors and the stuntman and how they had the ability to coordinate to pull all of this off. Now, the music. I 1,000 times prefers Nolan's partnership with composer Hans Zimmer. It's like these two guys are connected somehow. But for this movie, Nolan decided to give Ludwig Göransson a chance, and it wasn't bad at all. I'm going to confess, when I saw the movie for the first time, I thought, man, Zimmer nailed it. But when I saw the credits, I saw it was this new guy who also did the music for the second chapter of The Mandalorian, and I thought, well, he does understand the Nolan movie music vibe. So that was good. Tenet, for me, was a very good movie. I give it a 10 out of 10. And it's not because Nolan is one of my favorite directors, no. But because the movie deserves it. Tenet is one of Nolan's best work, actually. And now, I'll give you the rates given to this movie. IMDb gave it a 7.4. Metacritic gave it a 69. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 70. What do you guys think? So that's it for this episode. I hope you liked it. And what did you guys think about this movie? Was it good? Was it bad? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I would really like for you to let me know. Remember to follow Lights Camera Podcast on Instagram and Facebook to be notified of new content, to give your opinion or decide what other series or movies I should talk about. If you're listening to this podcast on YouTube, remember to subscribe and like the episode. Thank you so very much for listening, and we'll tune again on the next episode. Take care, drink lots of water, and keep consuming cinema. Bye.